Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day. Today is a very special day because Rainbow Six Mobile is finally here. That's right, it's globally launched and out now on iOS and Android. And if you ask me, I honestly think this is going to be one of the biggest games of 2026. Rainbow Six Mobile is also sponsoring today's video so that we can get the word out that the global launch is here. So if you guys want to download, go to the links down below in the description or pinned comment to get started today, and shout out to Rainbow Six Mobile for sponsoring today's video. Now in this video, we're going to go over all the stuff you need to know, like utility, operators, weapons, and much more. But if you're wondering, what is Rainbow Six Mobile? Let's take a minute, step back, and let me show you.
Deploying breach charge. Ready to blow.
Got an ace there. Today we're going over the most important things you need to know so that you can succeed as a beginner in Rainbow Six Mobile. Just learning the basics of R6 is a bit difficult, so I'm going to simplify that process today by making the complex things a lot easier to understand. Starting out with the operators. In other games, these might be called agents or champions. Each of these operators has a unique ability. Now, I won't be going over each and every single character because there's just too many to cover. Maybe I can make a separate video if you'd like. Just let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do that. But the truth is, your best way to learn is by playing them. However, if you're brand new and struggling a little, all you need to know is the core mechanics of the game and the basics of how it works. Half of these operators are attackers and the other half are defenders. The concept of the game is simple. There are two bombs that defenders are trying to set off. The clock on the screen is how much time is left before the bombs go off, winning the round for the defenders. The attackers are trying to get into the building and defuse the bombs by entering the objective room and defusing. If they run out of time, they lose. But if they manage to get to the bomb site and defuse, there's a 45-second window for the defenders to retake and try to defuse the diffuser. That makes sense. If one team kills all the players on the other team before the clock runs out, they win the round. So let's start with defense. On defense, there's a few things you want to try and achieve within a round. 25 seconds of preparation phase before the round starts. You want to fortify the bomb site by reinforcing walls and placing your utilities. The whole point of reinforcing is to make sure that wall cannot be shot through and basically blocking people from entering it. Remember, utilities is just a broad term for any gadgets and tools that your operator has. The goal throughout the round as a defender is to make it more difficult for the attackers to enter the bomb site by using your various traps and gadgets and, of course, your guns. This is why positioning in team play is a very important part of the game because you can't defend an entire building all by yourself. Defenders also have access to default cameras. These cameras are positioned around each map and can be used to gather a ton of information. Once you switch sides and end up on attack, things only change up a little bit. The attackers' utilities are different, of course, from the defenders, but instead of default cameras, you get access to an extra gadget called drones. Drones are your main source of information as an attacker. During preparation phase, you're able to use one of your drones to drone out the building, find out what operators the other team is using, and figure out where the bomb site is. Setting up your drones in sneaky spots is another great option during this time, so you can use it later on in the round. When you spawn in, every attacker now has a second drone, which you can use at any point during the round, along with your first one if it hasn't been destroyed already to gather more information. Drones are very, very useful and very important as well. Plus, every single attacker has them, meaning it is well worth your time to learn how to use them properly. Your goal throughout the round as an attacker is to get into the building safely and work your way into the bomb site without running out of time. This is made a whole lot easier by opening new entrances into the map and destroying the defender's utilities and cameras. Using secondary gadgets like grenades is great for breaking defender utility, but it can also be done with primary operator abilities. The most important thing you need to understand right now is the maps and how they actually work. Rainbow Six has a pretty big pool of maps to choose from, including destructibility, which makes them unique compared to any other game you have ever played. Now, maps are going to have to be something you will learn over time. You're going to die from positions you didn't even know existed. You're not going to understand the layout. It's going to be confusing, which is why learning the maps faster will make your time a lot easier playing the game. Just remember this. Each map is made up of 5 things: walls, floors, doorways, windows, and hatches. We're going to cover each of them so you know what's going on. If you see walls or floors with marble, brick, or cement textures on them, they're indestructible. But if not, impact grenades and even shotguns can blast right through them. And yeah, you can shoot through walls to kill other players. You knew that already, right? Oh, you didn't? Did you know that it applies to floors and ceilings as well? Oh, you didn't know? That's weird. Don't worry, it's not that bad because as defender, you can just reinforce the walls to keep you protected from all the things I just mentioned. Unless the attackers have a hard breach, in which case, I don't really know what to tell you. Because of how much protection they provide, placing reinforcements during the prep phase is super important. Another big tip is callouts. Every single room has a name to it. If you look at the top of your screen near the timer, whenever you enter a room, it will tell you the name of that room. And a very helpful little tip is when you ping a location using your yellow ping, it will actually tell you the name of that room in which you have pinged. So if you're playing with friends and struggling to call out, just ping the room that your drone is in, or just look up at the top of the screen and you'll get the name of the room. Once again, simply playing is going to be a great way to learn this. Failure is the best teacher. Someone giving you a call out that there's an enemy in drum, for example, and then you die from that enemy, at least you know where drum is now. And the more experience you get, you'll start to get more precise callouts. This is something you're going to naturally pick up the more you play this game. And when it comes to callouts, you're definitely going to learn more if you play alongside people or have people on your team giving you callouts on return. You pretty much bounce off of each other. Right, now let's move over to aiming. A lot of people always click on these videos like, this is how you get no recoil, or this is how I have no recoil. But I'm going to be honest with you, there isn't a secret hack. Actually, if you're on mobile phone, I highly recommend turning on gyroscope. But you already knew that, of course. But just because this sensitivity works for this specific YouTuber or this streamer, it doesn't mean it's going to make you instantly good as well. At the end of the day, sensitivity is purely preference. I personally play on pretty high sensitivity, but that's just because I've always played high sensitivity on other mobile games. It's just what I like. Some people like high sensitivity, some people like low sensitivity. You can use specific settings as a starting point. If you want me to share my settings and sensitivity, you can just drop a comment letting me know, and maybe I'll make my next video on that. But at the end of the day, it's just what you're comfortable with. And it's also just sticking with one. You're not going to be great with a brand new sensitivity instantly. You're going to have to get used to it. Yes, you can use all these different videos and other players as a starting off point, but don't let that judge what you use or how you should use it. Just because you use a different sensitivity than this #1 ranked player doesn't mean that his sensitivity is better than yours. So once you have gotten a sensitivity pinned down, we can move down to aiming. Luckily, you also have a practice mode, so you can also learn the maps that way. It's a lot easier and you can just take your time, no rush at all, check every corner, every room, and just see how the layout is. Now, let's move over to movement, another pillar you need to learn. There's going to be a few things I'm talking about. Firstly, let's talk about crouching, walking, and sprinting. A big mistake which even I make and others is that they'll just sprint for no reason. For one, sprinting emits a lot of noise which is going to give away your position. And if you're sprinting and you come across a gunfight with another player, it takes a bit of time to get your gun up again and readjusted. Sprinting should only properly be used if you're outside of the map, or you're trying to reclaim a position really fast. You know the area is clear and you just want to progress to the next one with speed. With a bit of common sense, you will understand when you should and shouldn't sprint. However, the main time I recommend never sprinting is when you simply don't know what's ahead of you. You don't have control of the room in front, you didn't drone it, you don't know if it's clear. You should never be sprinting when you do that. In positions like that, you want to be slow walking. Make sure you're aiming down your sight and ready for gunfights. You can even crouch as well to make yourself more hidden. And of course, you can prone in this game. This is pretty good if you're in a really tight position and need to duck, crawl out of positions, or even hiding in a corner. As with everything else, this will come with time. And you will start understanding when you need to aim, when you need to lean, when you need to crouch, because if you start doing that wrong, you're going to get caught up by the enemies quite a bit, and you're going to start realizing you're winning less. But this is something which is going to take time, and people will probably make fun of you for having bad movement, but as long as you just keep at it, you'll start to get the hang of it very soon. Now that you have the basics, remember that no matter what operator you play, the fundamentals of the game will always be the same. Droning, checking corners, crosshair placement, and clearing one room at a time. And on top of that, all of it is free to play and no pay to win. I'm serious. There's no pay to win in this game. I've played it already. There's no way for anyone to swipe their credit card, spend some money, and get an advantage over players that don't spend. Luckily, they're all on an even playing field that everyone has a chance of being successful, not just because they spent more money. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and definitely give Rainbow Six Mobile a shot. So make sure to go ahead and go to the link down below in the description or the pinned comment. Download the game. It's going to be a ton of fun. And thank you once again to Rainbow Six Mobile for sponsoring today's video.